Welcome to another Alpha 17 video. So we're going to be taking a look at the strength perks this time, specifically the melee ones. Since there is a lot of information here, I'm going to do them one by one to cover all the melee effects, from using clubs to bladed to heavy weapons like the sledgehammer. Make sure to stay to the end and miss nothing. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, check out the rest of my channel, as I have a lot of other 7 Days to Die guides, including for Alpha 17. And hopefully you're curious enough to subscribe and ring the notification bell. So in order, we will be covering Wrecking Crew, which is power attacks. Sexual Tyrannosaurus, which got to do with stamina usage. Flurry of Blow, well, it's attack speed. You have Deep Cuts, which is bladed weapons. Stay Down, which is related to club effects. Heavy Metal, sledgehammers, makes sense. And then you have the Skull Crusher, which has to do with headshot damage. I will be covering, well, I don't know what they call construction perks, but the resource perks. But there's a fair bit here to test out and showcase, so I'll do that in a separate video. So first, a quick look here at the actual levels that are needed. It is fairly high. You have strength 3 here. Well, the first one is, well, you can buy from the beginning. But then you have strength 3, you have 5, you have a 7, and you have 10. So you require quite a lot of levels. And of course, everything comes under the strength overall attribute, which is 1 to 10. And all of them will increase melee damage and block damage to some degree, so it always helps to increase that one. Alright, so let's have a look at Wrecking Crew. So when you have nothing, you do just a normal power attack damage. When you have full at 5, you do 25% more. So let's start here with looking at one of the most. So they all have 300 health points, and let's give them a punch here. And that was the power attack, right button. It gave him 19 damage. Now, if we buy this one, see if I buy this one, and let's punch his friend here. Hello. Now we're doing LE. You should see it's done, well, only 2 points more. Well, that's 25%. Not quite. There is obviously some rounding going on, because that's, it's definitely less than 125%. But it is increasing a little bit. And again, I'm just using my fist here to show it. Now let's have a look at Sexual Tyrannosaurus. So it's supposed to reduce the melee stamina usage, and of course the last one gives you some stamina as well. So let's try that out. Let me see, I bash him and let's see what it goes down to. 85. Yep, it goes down to 85, so 15 stamina per normal hit, and this was a normal light attack. So if I go and let me buy all of them, you would have imagined that it would drop by 30%, so it'll go down to around 11. Let's see if that works. Yeah, it goes down to 98. So this one seems to work just fine. So let's see if I can deplete that one a little bit. And I wonder if I will get the extra stamina if you bash someone. So let's see if I do that, if I kill him. If I get the extra 50. Let's do it. Alright, he probably should be dead now. Well, it looked like it didn't really move, so maybe that's 50. Now the question is how useful that is going to be. Getting a little bit back might help, but you see here, I mean, I'm power attacking here, and my overall stamina doesn't really go down that much, because, I can't swing it that fast anyway. So who knows? Maybe if you really are running around a lot at the same time, and you really need to increase your stamina. So I brought down Marlene here to about, let's see, 15 health. So let me run around a little bit. See if I can drain my stamina before I bash her in the face. And see if I get those extra. Oh yeah. It gave me extra stamina back. So that seems to be work. Fairly useful if you're doing a lot of melee, you can kill them. And now looking at the Flurry of Blows. Now, it starts with giving you a bit of attack damage increase or speed increase, which I guess can be helpful. But what's really nice later on is that it will do extra damage every 3 blows, or actually on the 4th one. So let's try that out. Of course, normally you can bash them as many times as you want to. You get nothing extra. But if we buy this one, bam, 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 bam. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Now I don't seem to get anything. Yeah, nothing seems to happen. If it is giving me the flurry of blows, it's not showing it, and I don't really think it is. I remember one of the videos that Madball had, it would show a small icon here to signify that it's an effect that is active, but yeah, I don't see that at all. So yeah, not really that useful yet. But let's look at deep cuts. Now this one is supposed to inflict bleeding damage. So at level 5 it has 100% bleeding damage and 60% chance that power attacks will bleed nearby foes and that you're going to decapitate. So let's see, and of course you're required to use bladed weapons for that. So a normal one, and again let's double check here, it's 300 damage for this one, and let's do a bash and 275. Alright, so let's buy all these perks. Now, so this one should then give bleeding damage. It shouldn't do more than that, so let's try on one of these ones. It should be 100% bleeding damage. So let's do Ellie here. You see 273, 270. See it's going down. And you can hear him complain, obviously. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, I think it wore off there. Oh yeah, so it took another, what, 40 damage or 30 damage in bleeding. Now that's really nice. And as you see, there's 50% chance to decapitate. But there's also, you have the power attack to bleed nearby enemies. So let's see if I can do that here. Nope. Okay, those two are bleeding, but I hit them. And it doesn't look like it'll increase or give any bleed damage to anyone else. So the area effect might not be working. Let's try that again. See if I can decapitate. Oh yeah. Well, that one worked. No one else is bleeding, which again, there should be a 60% chance that there's going to be bleeding as well. And these ones are still at full health. So let's try again. Well, he's obviously bleeding. Yep, but I don't think anyone else is. Let's see if anyone else is. Oh yeah, you saw one of the other ones started bleeding as well, so it's not all of them. Unless they have to be very close. Oh, so he died. Alright, let's try this one. Anyone else bleeding? Nope, just one. And yeah, the one next to it is now bleeding. Now, I don't know what the range is, but... oh, they're so noisy. Let's go over here and talk. We can't hear ourselves think. So it does show that it's going to bleed nearby foes, but it doesn't seem like it's taking all of them. Maybe it's just taking one, maybe it's just random which one, because it seemed like it should be taking more of them. It might be useful if there's a big horde, but you know, again, you know, you would have imagined if I hit this one, that it would affect all the ones around here. Because if it doesn't affect these ones, well, I mean, there's like... they're not going to be much closer than this. Noisy. So yeah, it doesn't really supposed to hit anyone else. No, that's a bit it. So it seems to either, maybe it's got a very small radius, maybe it's like only half a meter or something, or 1 meter, or that it's bugged out. But it doesn't really seem to be that useful. I was imagining all these ones to be bleeding. Else, sort of, what's the point? And now let's look at stay down. Now, if you use a club and you hit them with a power attack, let's see if I can do that, you do have a chance of knocking them down already. It's not extremely big, but as you see right, there is maybe, I don't know whether it's 30-40%. Now if you increase this one, and let's do that, let's buy it, 100% chance, and 3 successful hits in a short time should cause extra damage. Now let's see if that actually applies to normal hits. 1, 2, oh yeah, there is an effect there. Beatdown bonus, yeah. 1, 2, and bam! Extra damage. Alright, so now this one should have 100% chance for the power attacks to knock you down. And 3 successful hits will cause the last blow to do extra damage. So everyone I hit here with power attack should be knocked down. But they're not. And this is definitely a power attack. So he was knocked down, but it's definitely not 100% here. Unless he has some kind of immunity. I mean, that could be it. Let's see if we can... Oh, that's the wrong thing. Let's Sparley and Arlene. Or Marlene. Does this one give a power? No! It does not seem to be 100%. So, yeah, there's something buggy there. Nope, it's not working. It should be knocking it down, but it's not. There it was. Well, they're killed. And here, but no. It stuns. I think that's what that one is about. But it's definitely not knocking them down 100%. Now, what does seem to be working is that the 3 successful hits in a short time causes the last blow to do extra 100 damage. 1, 2, yeah, and then you get the green one, and it's an extra damage. 1, 2, and bam. 1, 2, and bam. Yeah, so that one seems to work, but the knockdown does not seem to be working properly at all. Maybe the knockdown is not tied up, but this 3 successful hits is. Now, it's kind of funny. This one is for clubs, but this one should also work. But it says light weapons. Now, that's a question. What is a light weapon then? Let's maybe say, maybe it's like a dagger or knife. Is a knife a light weapon? Would that be a light weapon? Let's see here, actually. Alright, let's see. I do 1, 2, 3. No. So if a knife is not light weapon, then yeah, I don't see how this one could work. So yeah, this doesn't really seem to work very well. Yep, should do extra damage. So maybe it's got some. Maybe there's some other weapons out there that we don't really know about. It does give bleeding, obviously, because it's a bladed. But yeah. Alright, now let's look at the sledgehammer. So this one is supposed to be good at knocking you down. And obviously, as just with the clubs, you do have a chance of knocking them down normally as well. Well, like here. Right. So it's pretty good already. Ooh. Oh, that's 100%. Well, that's weird. I wonder if they tied that wrongly. So now I'm getting 100%, which is what I was expecting from Stay Down. I wonder if they messed that out. Yeah, I think they messed it out. Or messed it up, rather. Yeah, this one is giving me 100% with the sledgehammer. And I haven't even used any of these ones. Alright, so let's see if we can buy all these ones. Does this work with a club? No. Still doesn't. Well, let's see if it knocks all the other ones down. Okay, no. Heavy weapons over power attacks. Okay. Come on, let's do power attack. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there's a chance here. Let's see if we can get you down. Oh, yeah, nearby ones. Ah, that one seems to work. So if they're really close, they can actually knock down. Yeah, they definitely get knocked over. So this one seems to do it. Actually, so what if I do 25 of them? Okay, so now they're 25. So let me see if I can spread them out just a little bit. Let's do this. Okay. So now if I hit this one. Whoa! Okay. So definitely, if they're close enough, you will definitely knock everything down. So this one seems to, yeah, so this one seems to work. They have to be fairly close if you see here. And yeah, so it seems to be like this small area, which is pretty good. If you're like defending it a doorway or something, then yeah, that seems to work. If it's further than that, it not necessarily. Yeah, see, they do here. So it's maybe a meter and a half. Yeah, maybe a meter and a half. Alright, so that seems to work pretty well. So that one does seem to work exactly as mentioned. If I hit him just normally, knock down every single time. But that was happening anyway before. So I suspect that something is messed up here. This one is giving it for the sledgehammer and not the club. Because otherwise, this one should be knocking it down as well, right? Oh, power attacks. Yeah, see, power attacks doesn't knock it down either. Right. And this should be for clubs. Okay, good to know. Alright, so you look at all these bikers, they have 300 health. Now, if we're looking at the last one, they should do additional headshot damage. So let's try with the club here. If I bash you in the face, if I hit... Alright, so I hit you, finally. That did 26. Now, let's spy this one. Alright, so now it should do definitely more than 26. So let's try you. Hello. And yeah, it definitely did a lot more headshot damage. And of course, if you're doing that with a sledgehammer, bam! Oh yeah, that did definitely more damage. That did 82 damage on the headshot, so that's pretty good. Now the question is whether that is really good enough. I think the knockdown of the previous one is probably more useful. But combined, yeah, maybe it's useful. So there you have it. Some of them seems to work with the power attacks. Sexual Tyrannosaurus seems to work. It does reduce the stamina usage, and killing blows give you extra stamina. Flurry of blows. Now this one, maybe it has the attack speed increased. It's a little bit hard to measure unless you really time it, but it doesn't look like you do extra damage on the, well, third or fifth blow, depending on it. With this, I think this one is incorrectly worded. They've just copied it over. That part doesn't seem to be working. Deep cuts, definitely bleeding, which is pretty nice. It's a fair bit of damage. And they do bleed nearby foes, but they have to be fairly close, and you can decapitate. So that's pretty good. It's definitely less than 16.4, I think, but it's nice, especially hit the head. Stay down. Now, this one doesn't seem to work the way it should be. It doesn't knock it down, but it does give extra damage on the third hit, so at least that one is working. Heavy metal. Now, sledgehammer stuff seems to be broken because it seems to take this one that knocks every foe down every hit, even if you haven't taken any of these ones. So I think something is best out there. But this one might have an effect anyway, but it does knock down nearby foes, but they have to be pretty close, a meter and a half maybe. But it's useful. This one looks really useful, probably more so than the deep cuts. Now the Skull Crusher, it does extra damage if you hit the head, so that can be really good. I guess if you're combining it with heavy metal, for instance, but it means that you do have to aim at the head, which can be difficult in a melee if everyone is running around, and aiming at the body might be a little bit safer, especially if you're trying to do power attacks, because that's good enough, right? You don't need to necessarily do that much more damage, because you can just knock them down, and knock them down. Bam. Right. That's pretty good. But, you know, if you have this one, you can just knock them down, keep knocking them down, and then eventually, of course, they're gonna die. Well, but hope you enjoyed, and next time we will go through these other perks: Miner 69er, Pack Mule, and Mother Load. I'll catch you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.